Welcome to Sri and Kira Live. As our world spins seemingly out of control, we are all experiencing time speeding up, chaos shifting to a new level, and a yearning to know the greater mysteries of the universe. What does it all mean? Visionary spiritual teachers and best-selling authors Sri Ram Ka and Kira Ra explore these mysteries, offer live soul readings, and invite you to open up your mind, body, and spirit to the paradigms that are shifting. Bringing you fresh perspectives and timeless wisdom, here are Sri and Kira.
Namaste, beloved ones, and welcome to Sri and Kira Live. I am wisdom teacher Sri Ram Ka, and I welcome you to this swirling vortex of energy that is our destiny to master. We are approaching an incredible time for consciousness, and my beloved Kira Ra will be here shortly, but before she comes, I just want to look at you and say, welcome. Welcome to your divine appointment. You know, there's so much information and misinformation and repeated information and repeated miscreations out there in the world. And it's important at this time especially that we breathe into our heart centers. Let's practice that together. As we breathe into our hearts, we relax the dominance of our brain to be misled. The brain is your faithful servant. Your heart is your anchorship. Breathe into your hearts now. Sigh. Let it out with a sigh. Let's do that again together. Sigh. And as you practice that, we discovered the truth that this moment, this now, is a blessing, and that you are the one to master this experience. You are the one to command this experience. You are the one that has both the power and the authority to live in divine alignment and in joy. One more deep breath. Let a smile come to your face. And know the truth. And the truth is, all is truly well. All is truly well. And so, beloveds, as we get ready here on this beautiful Sunday, that this information is being given to you live, we're preparing ourselves to take advantage of the opportunity that is before us. We have an amazing full moon energy. We have an amazing energy coming forward in May, and we are living in an amazing time. And so, beloveds, I want to bring in my beloved Kira Ra, Master Lady Kira Ra, and before she comes in, I just want to remind you that we enjoy hearing from you. You can ring us 517-208-1500 or 888-627-6008. Feel free to pick up the phone. You can listen to the show while you're on hold, and as we flow through this next hour, we look forward to connecting with you in all ways. Come on in here.
Okay. Namaste, everyone, and welcome, welcome. Wow, what a bright studio we have. We're going to have to tone it down a little bit because my eyes actually are hurting. And forgive me, everyone. Today is one of those bright days, isn't it? It's one of those moments where I'm going to keep moving and see if maybe the light helps me. Nope. There we are, right here. I think it'll work. And so, as Shri has been sharing with you, and as the breath is coming in, this is the moment at hand. Right now, the golden chalice ignition is before us. And Shri and I are literally standing before that. And I'm just going to go like this. And I think that's the reason for the lighting, is that what we're doing is offering ourselves this energy. I want you to feel this ignition right here, offering this gift of illumination that is coming forward right now. And as Shri was mentioning, I'm going to step aside a little bit.
Yes,
you might remember what's going on here. So this is why this is our background. This, you see this arrow and this interior, you might remember that from October 31, 2020. Do you remember way back when, and you see that yellow arrow there? That's October 31, 2020. So that helps you get a perspective of the spiral of the energy that's happening right now. And we do have some close-ups of this we're going to show you. Because what's happened is I very much feel like I'm offering you a consciousness weather report right now. We are coming into, and Shri, I'm going to invite you to come over here with me so we can see the May.
Yeah.
You see the word May over there? Can you point to that? There we go.
Whoa,
there it is. Okay. We are coming into the first harmonic pulse wave that's going to hit us this Saturday. Before we're on this show again, this is happening again. And it happened Saturday. However, the week ahead, and Shri, I'm going to ask you to go to your end, I'm going to go to my end of the studio so we can see the chalice. So you see this golden, look at this. This is the golden ray ignition. This is that chalice ignition, that golden ray chalice ignition. So this I energy that's going to converge over this week, that's literally where we are. I'm just going to kind of do that. Do you see what's happening? The way that this energy is coming together, the eternal cycle of consciousness, which we had that little glimmer, that 24-hour period opening on October 31, 2020, is bullseyeing again this week. Mm-hmm. So I think that's enough for us to have to sit down, don't you?
Yeah.
And we'll get to some closer visuals, because the reason we wanted to make sure you had this background before you is to really give yourself the gift of the patience through a week that is about the ignition of that chalice energy, that sacred chalice. And Shri, do we have this that I can put up and show them so they're not staring at the vision through you and I?
That one, hang on
Oh
a
my
second.
goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
I don't know that we have, I have that one.
You have them all here.
No, I'm
Yeah,
saying
so
they're
you
not
can give me the,
available
they're not available yet.
Just give me a second.
Okay, so we do have quite a few visuals. Let's put the April up level up while you find those.
that one?
That would be fabulous.
All right,
All
here
right.
we go. I'm grabbing digital files, and we'll put that there, give it a little stretch.
There we go. Fabulous. So
And-
here's where we are right now. I want you to be able to look at this. And if you have the 2021 up level calendar, you have this. This is in the calendar itself. Remember that this entire year, 2021, the energy field of creation opens. And what's happening is we're getting our first bump right now as we go into this full moon Tuesday night. It is a dance. That is why I used that language in our e-card today. So of course, Tuesday night is going to be all about the eternal dance. And so a very exciting soul mirrors where we will consecrate this golden chalice ignition in real time, because you are right now in this full moon ignition. And Shri, is there any way we can zoom that up a little bit or not?
Yeah, I think so.
If we can zoom it up, I want to zoom up more so we can see the May, June here. So if that can
actually, I can't zoom.
That's okay. That's
that
fine.
part of it. It's
no
gone.
worries. All right, no worries
All right,
at all.
let me bring it
so
back.
It's fine. Please bring up the spiral timeline. Let's do that instead. We already have that in here. I want you to bring up that. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so here you go, guys. I'm going to come back to the chalice in just a moment, because this beautiful interior of that, what we were referring to as that discus of Vishnu. So let's back way back, right? Let's pretend it's the first time you've ever attended our show. And let's go back and kind of build the bridge as to what is happening and where we are, lest us not forget how important April is. We are in the culminating week. Again, by the time we are together next week, we are over here where if you look to the left of this graphic and you see May, it goes January, March, May, right? Because these are all intersecting infinite spirals. That's right now. That's this week. We're here. And if you look over to the right, you notice, look at how beautifully clear. You see the moment between April and June? You see how that's got that moment where you're just holding, but then you see it's almost lopsided, because on the other side of here, you have that May, July energy. You see that? That is intersecting. And so what we're trying to do right now is create the greater balance, because everything is going to be affected. You see these, there's 3 of them. So let me point them out to you. The greenish hued oblong, these are harmonic waves that are coming from within the creation field itself. So this is what you need to understand. I haven't talked about these before because this is the activator of the golden chalice. And so let's see, I want to go back and see if I can show you that. I might have actually had that in here. Hold on. There we are. So this is now. And again, you have this in the 2021 up-level calendar. You already have this. And what you're seeing now so clearly is that this field, this eternal field of creation, the chalice within the chalice, what has this month of April been? It's been about the open chalice. Now we're expanding that into this golden chalice energy that is calling forward. Do you see, if you look at this graphic, look at the very top. Let's just bring you in. See the top there? That's that center of creation. And you see all of the energies beyond the elementals of this world. This is the eternal elemental system. You see all of that igniting. And you see the eye come down through the center of that. And as you come right down, look into the eye. But then if you go right below the eye, what do you notice? You notice what looks like almost the wings of propulsion coming out. And this is the pyramid of spiritual awakening overlaid to show you literally the pyramid of spiritual awakening that has now gone into multidimensional presence, that ignited the opening of the divine feminine as the lion's gate on 8/8/2020, that ignited this spiral time that we are in now. And for the first experience ever in the energy field of creation that we are calling forward right now, if you again look deeply into this graphic, if you look to the left between May and July, and again on the right between August and June, you see what looks like almost green shading. I'm going to take you back now to the single layer, which just shows you what that means. It's the first of the 3, and I'm going to call them, like, I don't want to use the word bombs, but it's very much like that energy.
Pulse wave of energy.
There it is. There it is. Pulse waves of energy. But they're coming from within our own field of creation. And this is why it is so incredible to be aware of what is happening with this full moon. Because this full moon is the ignition of the golden chalice. And I mean, Sri, last night you and I were certainly breathless. I mean, we should have, that's one of the pictures I should have brought up here. The moon, right?
Oh, fabulous moon.
Tuesday night soul mirrors, I'll use it as the backdrop. Yeah,
no, fabulous. And the ignition that's upon us, you know, the one thing that kind of goes through my mind is, as Akira was sharing, is there is a depth of understanding that our normal consciousness has difficulty wrapping around.
Right.
And it's important that you cut yourself some slack and cut us some slack, because what we're delivering to you is a recognition of a deeper level of truth, a deeper understanding of what is going on. And you can either dismiss it or you can be with it and feel what you can recognize there. Yeah. Because as we share, there is information and there is energy that is useful, that is valuable to condition yourself to be better prepared, to be more in alignment, happier with what's going on, as opposed to, as so many millions are feeling, overwhelmed by what's going on.
It's a choice,
Maybe
right?
I should have said billions.
Oh, I think that's more accurate.
Because
absolutely.
That's
very, very important.
What's going on is beyond the mind's comprehension.
There it
and
is.
until we lift our consciousness and it can expand our mind and open our vision and expand our hearts, it's going to feel overwhelming, as opposed to feel like an opportunity, as opposed to feel like a new blessing, as opposed to feel like a partner in the co-creative process of our lives.
Wow. And that's, I'm just going to scooch on my chair, right? That's that, right? That's what you see. You've got this eternal cycle of consciousness that is that ever-refining spiral. However, we've been given the gift of these little glimpses of linear, I keep having to use the words of the divine directors as lineality. And they just keep talking about this lineality, and that the more that we are able to gift ourselves with the depth of knowing ourself beyond that. And this is why I'm trying to draw what I see. And I know there's someone coming who can make this move, because that was October 31. And so you see how we are just this little cycle. I just want to scooch all the way out. And you see how I have the calendar superimposed on the eternal cycle of consciousness, because this is the golden chalice ignition right now. Right now, we are at that point, and you see how it's like a bullseye to the center. And it happens to be the first intersection of 2021. Remember, that was our only intersection, our only opening in the way that these eternal cycles of consciousness move. So that is the greatest wake-up call. Like I feel like we should all be, forgive me, but I feel like we should all be up on the mountain going, oh my God, right? It's right now. And there's not enough of us celebrating. There's too many of us doubting. And so because it is the golden chalice ignition, and because of yesterday,
yesterday.
My husband's got to join me, because yesterday, you want to tell him what happened yesterday before I want to offer you all a gift right now. And it happens to be my golden chalice. Yeah, I know.
Right,
I just was like, oh my God, we have a golden chalice. All right. So let's talk about what happened yesterday. And here, Sri, we can just do that for when we're standing.
No,
there you go, honey.
Please.
We're good. So with this golden chalice ignition, it's important to not be distracted, to give yourself the gift of really being called to presence. And so, Sri, let's talk just a moment. I just want to offer a bow to all of you that were with us yesterday as we culminated the Crystalline Atlantean Healing Chamber journey by offering the soul song, because that's what we do. We call out and call forth the soul song for ultimate healing, because only you, only that which you are, is able to really call forth your soul song. And then in the chamber, we play it. And this is a big piece of it. And so it was only about 15 minutes ago, which is why my poor husband's been decompressing, because I also ran him and Dana up the mountain this morning, because we had to run up to the mountain. It came to this.
The golden chalice of ignition.
Yeah. So I think we need to just offer this to you in this moment, in this day, because Sunday, full moon getting bigger. Monday, tomorrow, Monday magic, we will play the chalice again. I'm going to actually be keeping the chalice here on the altar in our studio. And then it's going to culminate Tuesday night on Soul Mirrors, when we play the chalice for the third time. And so as I'm sharing this with you, Merlin just walked onto the set. And of course, we always know that's a sign of our lion energy. And Shri, is there anything you would want to share about the energy up on the mountain this morning before we offer this?
Well,
and it's just going to be a breath of moment, and then we're going to continue, because I think it's a good timing at this Sunday for all of us to call this in.
Well, before I share, I just want to offer you once again, we are working with energies. Energy is the basis of everything that exists. And so often, especially in the YouTube world or the radio world, we're engaging words and activating our mind, as opposed to keeping our hearts more open and our energy field more open to receive the tones, the energy, the deeper meanings. So yesterday we had the opportunity of the Atlantean, the Crystalline Atlantean Healing Chamber, which is part of the Avesa Quantum Healing protocols. And in
this full moon energy.
And in that energy, everybody who participated received an alignment that was beyond expectation.
I believe it ignited today.
And that alignment comes, and for all of us, this isn't a story of what happened. This is a sharing of what is happening. The alignment is an expression of something greater than that which you have seen before, that which you have known before. It is an opening versus a repetitive recognition. And this is the essence of the time of ascension. Many people are talking about ascension
and
rather than ascending.
Nothing.
They're
waiting for something to happen. In the words of the wisdom teacher Sri Ram Ka, ascension happens through you, not to you.
So we open to an expanded energy, and through that comes expanded recognition, and through that comes an expansion of love, and through that comes a release of worldly attachments, thus supporting us to be of greater service in the world, thus supporting us to be of greater illumination and love. And so this is the whole process. And I don't mean to be a broken record. What I want to do is shake you up just enough to relax your need to control and be open to the energy that is blessing you.
And that is the moment. The eternal cycle of consciousness has called us into this golden chalice ignition. And we literally have this golden chalice. This is actually pure quartz crystal with gold. We actually have this beautiful chalice, and we use this in the chamber. And literally, about 5 minutes before the show, I'm sending wild messages to everybody going, get the chalice. So let's take a moment and feel this. Let's feel this. Right? There we are. And know that the more you trust yourself, the easier this is going to be. Shri, would you lead us through some breath, please?
Absolutely.
And on the saw breath, we'll tone the chalice.
So hold the phrase or word Ave on the inhale, because Ave means I recognize the divine, as in the Ave Maria. Ave, hail to the divine. And on the exhale, just kind of think the open reed of Sa. No resistance, nothing but an openness, a surrender to the flow. Ave, Sa. Let's put it together right now. Big breath in. Ave, Sa.
Let's lead them through 2 more, please.
Breathing in Ave, Sa. Breathing in Ave, Sa. Breathing in, Ave, hail to the divine. Exhale with the release, Sa. Here we go. Sa. And let a smile come to your face as you feel the sustain of the chalice tone.
And you notice that there are no words we could offer you other than what we're showing you right now to explain what's happening behind the scenes or consciously this week, because that's really the choice before you. So we're going to have a seat. I'm going to put this chalice down, and I will pick it up again tomorrow night in Monday Magic for the next IM. And then finally again on Tuesday when we're actually in the energy of the full moon. So I'm just going to do that in your presence. And so if you're with us all 3 nights, you'll be here as we... Shri, can I leave it if I put it here? I think we're good, right?
That's good.
And what you're not seeing, we'll take a picture of, is that we have a beautiful Saint Germain photo right here. Of course, lots of crystals so we don't blow up our computers and everything else that's here in the studio. And as you're breathing in that beautiful energy, all that beautiful sustain that Shri was just mentioning, I want to give you a sneak peek of Saturday. Do we have the May up level available, Shri?
Sure.
All right. So here it is, guys. Here is you know what? Before we go there, put up the April one more time. So let me show you the April up level calendar. And there it is. All right. Here we are on the 25th. You see what's going on now. It's all about what is happening to the chalice. We are at that moment where your wings are fully ignited. This has been a month of receiving and filling that chalice. Little did we know what we were doing was getting that chalice ready to transcend into the moment of the golden chalice ignition. I myself did not even know this until several days ago. It is incredible to look at what the full moon is doing. So that full moon energy is coming in on the 27th. And on the 27th, let's go to the final ascended numerology. That is that full moon energy amplifier that we also now know is the moment that the eternal cycle of consciousness is literally opening as that first harmonic wave being created from within this energy itself hits humanity, and we move back into the second chakra. And this is the next thing I want to share, because then I want to turn it over to Sri for a moment, because remember, look at the wheel. Since we have arrived here, since April 1, 2021, the entire month, no matter where we have transited, we have been hanging from literally the 12 o'clock hour, sitting on our own swing, swinging in the eternal creation. And if you have had your eyes focused on, show me the best I can be, show me the best it can be, bring me the resources, bring me that which I can bring forward, the highest gift of who I am, then you've got between now and literally Friday, because Saturday it's a new world. You've got literally between now and Friday to figure that out. But here's what's happening on Tuesday. We're all getting the blessing that from that infinite swing, where we're going to go is we're drawing that line. Look at the clock from the 12 o'clock where we've been sitting swinging in that zero word. We are now going to land safely and gently. It's a straight line, and we've been getting ready to go there all month, and we've been carrying everything with us. Everything that you have put together in April is getting ready on Tuesday, and you're already in it to come into the center of creation as your balance. And yes. Shri, you've got to talk about this. The center of creation as your balance. It's all about the second chakra this entire week. It's all about creation as your balance, making sure that you are honestly coming from the spot of your true integrity, sincerity, love, and presence, miracles. But Shri, what does that mean to our second chakra in our body?
You know, here's what catches my eye is this energy that's coming to us Tuesday is similar to this energy we received at the equinox. At the end of March. It has that reminiscent creation capacity to us.
Right.
And so this is going to be activating more fully your second chakra, which brings two powerful messages forward.
Right.
The first message is change.
Right.
That to be graceful as the seasons shift, to be able to say, I'm letting go of what was because what is about to be is calling me.
And I got to say, how feminine is that?
It's very feminine.
It's so, be graceful as the seasons are shifting. And, this is the conversation that I'm championing is, I want you to know right now that the word crone doesn't exist in my vocabulary, because what we are doing is queening. We're not croning, we're queening. We choose to come into our benevolent queen presence, thereby our service is our life, thereby our life calls to it what our service is, rather than us defining it. Breathe that in.
Yeah.
Just take a second and pause with that.
So there's two wonderful energies afoot here in this time we're in. And one of them is this robustness of the ascended capacity of your second chakra. The ascended capacity is about the grace and ease to allow what is needing to be birthed to take form.
There it is.
To allow it to take form, as opposed to be rigidly clinging to what has already had its cycle.
And forcing it to still work.
Yeah.
Right? Trying to really stick that square peg into that round hole.
And so this is the feminine energy of creation that is not gender specific. It is an energy that is real and true for all beings. And the key is, can you allow yourself to align with this flow, letting go of what was and being the nurturing witness, let alone the nurturing midwife, but being the witness of what is coming forward and being able to celebrate that rather than being frightened of the unknown. It's only unknown to the ego mind. It's not unknown to your soul. And so as we practice trusting that which is emerging, that calls us to the other energy that's so prevalent in this month of April, and that's the high heart, is to be able to be in that universal love rather than being hooked in the personal love, the conditional love.
There it is.
Because the conditional love says, well, I'll love you if you better behave. You know,
I'll love you when, or love you for this long time, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Versus the high heart, which is that universal love that I love you as I love myself. I love all beings as I see the divine in all.
Keep your eyes on the divine at all times is the ultimate namaste, Shivoham, I am, right?
Absolutely.
The I.
It is.
There it is. Well, let me jump in and share that what is so profound here is that as Shri was just sharing, and I want to dive into this, Shri, because I think it's important, and I know all of our phone lines are so full. Do not hang up. We're going to start getting to you shortly and get in there because we're pretty full. However, I want to talk about this specific week ahead, because this week ahead, this is the law of instantaneous manifestation like you have never seen it before. If you have made your clear intention to the universe, if you are really saying yes to that eternal cycle of consciousness, then the week ahead is just like your vessel. Remember, this is the week where this is now full, and we're starting to look at what do we do with it. We turn it into this, the golden chalice. How perfect is that? The transcendence from this chalice of eternal consciousness reigniting in form, tilting the wheel of the eternal cycle of consciousness enough that each of us lifts into this huge golden chalice ignition now, right now. And that this creation and manifestation of the week ahead is so huge that it came with a caution that this energy is without limit. It's completely, this energy is without limit. This is the true cycle of, remember last time, October 31, 2021. So here we are again, and this opening is without limit, and it exists in the field of complete neutrality, which does not mean you've given up on creativity, nor that you are unable to see. The gift of the neutrality means that you are in your master-filled presence. And that's what this week is showing you and saying, look, if you can stay here, do we have the witness, Shri? Because that's really what this week is about. This week is very, very much, there it is, fabulous. This week is very, very much about this. It's very, very much about remembering your ninth dimensional presence, because that's what's coming in. That's where we are now. And so in order to be in the ninth dimension, it means that you're the witness again. You can only be the witness if you've arrived into the level of mastery that has really let go of the ego need and can keep connected constantly through the third dimensional experience as the witness to hold this field of neutrality. This is the living ninth dimension. And in the living ninth dimension, as you become the ever more dissolved angelic presence as the witness again, and the entire process starts over, by the way, you are able to sincerely witness that seventh dimensional being that is right now being called up. This is what, when Shri and I talk about you've been tapped on the shoulder, it is no longer about the fifth dimension. And I know that the bulk of humanity are just discovering the fifth dimension. I get it. This is about those of you that are seeing this. To be in the seventh dimension means that you are in the field where judgment relaxes out of your consciousness. because you are constantly witnessing through the compassionate embrace of the fifth dimensional witnesser that is constantly holding its wings with compassion around the third dimensional experience that has woken up to witness. Breathe that in. Here for translation is my husband.
You know, beloved ones, we all are doing the best we know how. And I offer that to you with great sincerity, because what we understand may not be what we're actually living.
Right.
What we understand is simply that which allows our mind to be at ease. And just because the mind is at ease doesn't mean that the soul or the heart are at ease or silent. Pardon me. So it's really important to understand that in the third dimension, which is the mass consciousness, most beings are self-aware. But awareness is not consciousness. A goldfish is aware. And what kind of attention span does a goldfish have?
The same as a human these days, from what
Well,
I
that's
understand.
my tongue-in-cheek.
Anyway, forgive
so
me.
as we evolve through our vibrational upliftment, we begin to become aware.
Exactly.
That we are aware. We begin to witness our awareness.
Exactly.
And we go through stages of expansion along the way. The fifth dimension is merely that stage of expansion where we have lifted up to our heart center as primary, and that we're showing compassion toward ourselves and others. Compassion is the energy that says, I bless you. I'm being kind to you and to me because we are all in this together. And that compassion doesn't need a because. However, the mind likes to understand, I am compassionate toward all beings because it's my nature to love. That's the entry point.
Yeah.
The entry point. And so many practices and philosophies and conversations want to get you to the heart. Well, yeah, that's very wise and good, but that's the entry point, the foundation of your ascended consciousness. That's the point at which the journey of self-realization actually becomes viable.
And of course, as the yoga of self-ascension, that journey takes us into that mastery presence where we really have the gift of remembering our mastery presence. Hence this moment.
Yes.
Right now. I want to remind you that this is all happening because of the 5 bodies of the expanded ascended presence. It does take us back to yesterday again.
Yeah.
Because within the Crystalline Atlantean healing chamber yesterday, we actually demonstrated what happens when all 5 of those bodies come together. Remember that when the 5 come together, it brings that cross of perfect balance into harmony through a central cog of consciousness. As you see all of the medicines, right? So you have the medicine of the physical, the medicine of the emotional, the medicine of the mental, the medicine of the spiritual, and ultimately, the moment we are in right now, the medicine of consciousness. And I want you to bring your hands to your heart as I read to you this quote from Archangel Zadkiel, because this is the moment at hand, especially as we move into this full moon. And I'll come back to another reminder after we take this in. So bringing our hands to our heart, I'm actually going to leave the slide up and I'm going to play the A tuner. So Shri, just guide us in one Ave Sa.
Let's take a big breath in, thinking Ave, I recognize the divine. Sa.
What if you chose to believe that everything in your world was perfect, as is, right now? What if you implicitly trusted your inner guidance system to produce the words and actions needed in any situation you found yourself? What if every moment was guided by the one who truly loved you? Take in a breath, because that's the moment we're in.
Yes.
Right? I think we need to welcome some of these amazing people. What do you think, Shri?
We're going to do that. And before we do, I just want to smile and be with each and every one of you.
Yeah.
Thank you for allowing yourselves to receive, to expand, and to trust. Mm-hmm. All right. We're going to head over to BBS Radio, and we have a caller on line 5. It looks like Sarah from Iowa.
Well, hey, Sarah from Iowa. Welcome.
Pardon me.
Hi, Shri and Karen. Namaste. I'm so happy to be here with you today.
Thank you, sweetheart.
And thank you so much for doing this show today. The content is just, I'm so flying high right now just listening to you guys.
Excellent.
I wanted to first and foremost say, I've been listening to you guys for a couple of years.
Thank you.
And you guys have always spoke about, finding your authenticity, being that of your authenticity. And you fueled me with those words. And even at times when I really kind of questioned if I knew what that was, if I was doing it right, and all of those things, I knew where to go to keep that inspiration going, and that was the two of you. So first and foremost, thank you for that.
Yes.
And thank you for being gentle with not just me, but I know anybody who is listening to what you're saying. You guys express such a gentleness that reminds us to love ourselves and love the journey. With that, I have to say that I'm so excited for this week because first off, everything that you're saying brings me such excitement. And the fact that I turned 50 on Friday.
Hey.
I'm super excited about that. But I also feel like I have been on many levels gearing up for this week. Because of the two of you, I have understood what it means to say yes to me. And I shared this in our WWA weekly mentoring that we did. That this is my year.
Yes.
I'm really dedicated to that. And so I'm really excited for this week. And I was wanting a soul reading because I know it's not just about me. This is about everybody who is saying yes to themselves right now at this time.
I want you to just take in a breath. First and foremost, because my cheeks hurt from smiling so much listening to you. And I love that because the radiance, when you share, and Shri, do you want to share before I go into it?
No, go for it. You're on it.
All right. When you share, what I'm experiencing from you is the joy that cannot be taken away. It's really, it really transcends that peace that passeth understanding. This is the joy that anchors the peace. Because when we, and it's beautiful because it's really Archangel Zadkiel who's really around you the most right now. And all of this violet. It's like I keep seeing you. It's like, okay, I get it. And you're like taking off all of these violet scarves. And you've got all these beautiful violet scarves on. You're like, all right, with the scarves already, right? And I love that I wore these earrings today. It's like I wore them for you because everything around you is radiating this violet energy. And there's literally, it's so cute. There's like this neon sign above you that's just flashing and going, transformation is here. Now, who do you want to be? And remember who you are. And so it is.
Thank you so much. So I have to tell you before this call, I was sorting through scarves, and I was earlier telling someone about the experience I had with neon signs. So the affirmation and the symbolism is there. Thank you so much. And blessings to all.
Thank you, sweetheart. We love you. And I do want to share with all of you, I love that sweet reminder that Shri and I will only ever see what you're open to revealing. We are not invasive. When it comes to the sanctity and the sacredness of being able to join each other, which right now is all about the 9th dimension. And I want to read this to you. Again, if you have the up-level calendar, you already have this. And it would be on the page that says the Golden Chalice Ignition. And right at the top of that page, what I didn't know when I made the calendar, remember this all came out in 2020. What I didn't know was when this ignition was going to happen. and it's right now. This is why it's so exciting. I know it would be sometime this year. I didn't know it would be right now, or I would have done a lot more promotion about it. So you're going to just have to help me all help everybody know what an amazing week it is, and that this full moon is the Chalice moon. This is the full golden Chalice moon. Right up at the top. The 2021 energy field of creation opens. It has already opened. That's this whole year. This energy field of creation was this beautiful concentric dimensionality. The spiral time has already come forward. And I think are we going to see it or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Shree's going to put it up while I'm talking about it. So you really can see this again. There it is. So you see, I'm reading right at the top here. And so for those who choose, when this opens, which is right now, it is about ninth dimension integration. And I knew that it was going to open with a full moon. I just didn't know which one. And of course, now in hindsight, of course, it would have had to have been the April full moon because of this harmonic wave that's going to hit us Saturday. That is a creation from within the creation. This is why this week we are being called into ninth dimensional integration. And I do want to share, before we bring in our next caller, something that Sarah just said, Shree, and something that I personally just want to share. And that is, during the past week, and I think I started talking about this maybe about a week ago, I'm not sure. I've recently had the pleasure of reconnecting with some people that, beautiful women, all women, kind of interesting, it's all women right now, who not only are we all clear that we have worked together before, we're also all clear we're more than that. We're also saying the same thing. We're also able to meet in seventh dimensional energy without any issues. And the past week, and it anchored yesterday and then really anchored this morning when Shree and I went up to the temple. For the first time ever, outside of Shree and I met someone who is also holding ninth dimensional frequency, which means this is happening. And she is one of the most brilliant women and incredible and plus she's an artist. And so it's like everything around her is incredible. And so I'm very excited about all this because all of the women that are coming onto Soul Mirrors right now, including this month, everyone that's been on so far this month, Elizabeth Yarnell, Jane Brinton, this Tuesday, Sharon Rose. Of course, we have the beautiful goddess dancer on the night of the full moon, Golden Chalice Ignition. Sharon and I did not plan this. And then we have other beautiful women coming on. The show is building momentum. As this energy of the divine goddess is expanding. We are coming forward, and it is the essence of our neutrality. Remember, this week, this energy is neutral, and the neutrality comes from the balance of the masculine and the feminine, whereby we're not even having to think about it because only the crystalline is coming forward.
Beautiful. It's an amazing thing to witness that the divine feminine is becoming more visibly empowered. The power has always been there. However, the representatives of that power, the spokespeople of that power have been a little shy, don't you? And so what we're witnessing in this little slice of the universe that we get to play with and be
our little
in,
nirvana to yours,
is that this emerging divine feminine energy is being championed, not just witnessed, championed actively, consciously.
Yeah.
And it's impressive because this is the healing that is required for the all. Healing, remember, ascended healing is a restoration of a higher order of balance, a higher order of beauty, a higher order of love. Beauty, balance, love. These are the qualities that promote expansion in a way that is nourishing, not in a way that's reactive or polarizing. And this is indeed one of the fundamental qualities of the divine feminine in its ascended expression. And so I'm sitting here as I had the burden of a male body.
pobrecito.
And there was a time in my life where I was going, yeah, male body. And now, as I have grown wiser and more experienced in life, I can kind of chuckle at this because without balance, without women bringing forward their empowered masculine, without men bringing forward their divine feminine, there will not be harmony on earth. There will always be
look at it now. That's why there's so many challenges around gender, because
a furnace of reactivity.
Right, because everyone's out of balance. And I'm not saying anything other than to be who you are is the ultimate balance.
Yeah.
To be safe to be who you are outside of judgment. That's what happens when you come to Tosa Blue Mountain. People come here and they cry the minute they touch the land, because the first time in their lives, they are safe to be who they are, knowing that they are outside of judgment. That's what the planet this week is saying. Hey, we're in a 7th dimensional moment, and those of you that are ready, come up here to the 9th. Mm-hmm. Let's go over to the Oneness Talk Radio. We have a loaded call board over there.
We have time to do another call.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, guys. I know we got massively full call lines today. We will definitely call next week if we don't get to you.
We're heading to Billings, Montana.
Hey, Billings, Montana. Namaste from Iowa to Montana. Hey, Montana.
Hey, namaste, beloved Sri and Kira. Thank you so much for the reminder about staying focused and our awareness and all of that. It has been challenging for me. I'm super excited about this upcoming week, but it has been super challenging for me as to stay in that focused awareness, complete trust when a very, very dear friend of mine had a horrific event where evil came into her family and murdered her sister by her own daughter through drugs. And I've just been struggling to find the words of comfort for her other than just being there with my presence, holding that space of love. And I knew that you both, and I'm so grateful for both of you and all of your teachings, I knew that you would know how to comfort and what I should do and say in this. And just, I know drugs rob somebody of their soul, and it's very apparent in this situation. But I appreciate any guidance of how not to, first of all, for me to take this on, because I don't want this kind of energy around me. Right. But secondly, how to be that loving support presence for my very dear friend.
Yeah. So first of all, Angel, take a breath before Sri responds, because he's going to begin. And I want to reach out to all of you listening. We all know this energy. Yeah. It's either in our families, it's in our friends' families. We have witnessed it. We have grown through it. There is no mistake you are a culminating caller today, because this is happening in the planet in so many different ways. So this is a much bigger energy. And thank you for giving all of us in this moment, and especially in this week ahead, because remember, this energy is neutral. Yeah. So Sri, I'm going to let you begin.
Sure. So I have two offerings for you. The first is hand on heart.
Yeah.
As you said, you were present to your friend and to the family, etc. This may seem so simple, and yet it's so potent. I want you to bring yourself to your star consciousness when you're with them, and actually all the time is good, to center up here. Be in the center of your head, be in the star consciousness, and from there see everyone filled with light, as if you are actively filling her with light, as if you are filling every one of them with light. Now, as you are in the flow of seeing that light emerge, from that place, the words will be found. If we try to decide what we're going to say to comfort a person, we may be beautiful, but we may miss the mark because we're not in that ascended place in the moment. And so I want you to carry that into you as you are with them.
And Donna, I only have about a moment here. We're going to run out of time, but I want to share this with you as well. This is a mastery moment for you as well. I know in this moment, it's hard to see. But every one of them has played their role perfectly for all of you. So start with you. Look at both of them, both of the quote unquote victims, right? look at that victim energy, look at them, and then lift into your mastery presence. And this week of ninth dimensional presence, be the witness again and see how quickly you can claim the mastery, that what they did was exactly what they needed to do. And from that, you will hold the higher resolution consciousness that will birth what Shri is sharing with you. And when you're in their presence, you do exactly what Shri said. And that's how you have no time for them to be coming in because you're too busy focused on filling with light. Yeah. And that is the non-invasive blessing, right? So thank you for helping us all and helping humanity. This week, may we all do this.
Yes.
And
thank you. Thank you. That was beautiful.
Thank
Much
you.
love,
I
dear.
appreciate you both.
We love you, honey.
Well, as we come to a close for today,
Wow.
let's take a breath and send gratitude for everything that has come forward, what is stimulated in you. And I want to remind you, the power that you are deep within outweighs all the outer world could ever bring forward. And that power is accessed through the I Am. And each and every Monday, we have the delight of being with you with the I Am discourses to unwrap, to go deeper, to really own that which is intrinsic in your nature.
And remember, April mattered. We have just a few days left. You're going to get this bounce in your creation cycle. So come out of the void of creation. Be ready. Take that energy into your beautiful balance and create.
Yes.
We'll see you tomorrow and Tuesday because it's going to be a new world.
We love you.
Namaste. Thank you for joining us at Shri and Kira Live. To have your questions answered, send us an email to guest@shriandkiraradio.com and check out more information at shriandkira.com. See you next week. Namaste.